Boxing has always lived at the razor's edge between elegance and brutality. It's a sport where blood decorates the canvas, where pain is currency, and where the toughest warriors carve their names in broken jaws and fractured ribs. But every so often, amid the violence and savagery, steps a fighter who chooses to turn the slaughter into a stage, a performance, a dance. These are not just athletes. They are showmen, artists, and provocateurs who fight not only to win, but to humiliate, to mesmerize, and to make the crowd erupt with awe. Ben Whitaker is one of the newest dancers to step under the spotlight, and when he enters the ring, it's clear that he doesn't just want to beat you. He wants to expose you. In 2024, still considered a rising star, Whitaker's reputation had already begun to swell. People whispered about his footwork, raved about his reflexes, and smirked at his cocky charisma. But on the night he met Khalid Gradia, those whispers turned into something louder. Gradia wasn't some rookie. He was a seasoned fighter ready to tarnish Ben's perfect record. Yet when the bell rang, Whitaker didn't come out fighting. He came out dancing, with every dodge, every sidestep, every snappy jab, and mocking smile. Whitaker began digging a metaphorical grave for his opponent. No matter how many punches Gradia threw, none landed cleanly. It wasn't just dominance, it was theatrical annihilation. The humiliation reached its peak, as Whitaker, full of swagger, made Gradia look like an amateur. Eventually, only the referee had the mercy to intervene. The execution had been televised, and Ben Whitaker had proven that sometimes, the ring isn't a battlefield, it's a stage.
Whitaker's antics. Well, Whitaker and just as he was ordered to by the corner, Ben Whitaker.
But long before Whitaker arrived, there was another, a man whose name would be whispered with reverence and disbelief. Emanuel Augustus, known to the boxing world as the Drunken Master, didn't just dance in the ring. He transformed it into a circus of chaos. His body swayed, twisted, bent at impossible angles, leaving opponents dizzy and flailing. Against Rio Oliveira, Augustus turned his antics into an art form. From the opening bell, it was clear that something unusual was happening. He moved like a man detached from gravity, as if jazz music were playing in his head while his limbs kept tempo with the beat. He wasn't just dodging punches, he was performing pirouettes, turning his defense into mockery.
Now here's Augustus.
Actually, yeah, I do tell. I'm like, why'd I do this?
And this is what he just loves to do, the style.
He'd lower his hands, lean back dramatically, then swing back with precise uppercuts that landed like Oliveira had no answers. You could see it in his footwork, in his hesitation. Augustus had taken over every inch of the ring, not with brute strength, but with rhythm, control, and sheer audacity. When he landed a crisp combination, it wasn't just effective, it was insulting. At one point, Oliveira even tried to play along, pretending to be hurt more than he was, hoping the performance would earn him a reprieve. But Augustus wasn't laughing. His scorn for his opponent's cowardice was visible in every gesture, every contemptuous glance. In the end, Augustus didn't just beat Oliveira. He broke his spirit and then twirled away like a magician who'd just made a man disappear. Then there was Prince Naseem Hamed, a walking spectacle, a fighter who didn't just entertain crowds. He hypnotized them. In the ring, Naseem turned combat into choreography, and his fight against Jose Badillo was nothing short of a boxing ballet. The moment the bell rang, Hamed began slipping and swerving with a confidence that bordered on arrogance. Badillo came forward, fists cocked, trying to pressure the flamboyant Sheffield native, but what he met was not just a boxer. It was a showman in full command of his craft. Hamed ducked, danced, taunted. His feet floated across the canvas, his hands low, inviting danger. But every time Badillo lunged, Hamed's counter came first, sharp, fast, and punishing. The crowd inside the Sheffield arena could hardly believe what they were seeing. This wasn't just control. This was a man making another human being look ridiculous. As Hamed's punches landed, so did his message. You don't belong in here with me. With 13,000 fans watching, he unleashed a series of screw-type uppercuts and crushing lefts that left Badillo dazed and helpless. And finally, with pride shredded and his corner fearing for his health, the towel came in. Another performance. Another victim. Another reminder that Prince Naseem didn't just win, he humiliated. But while Hamed danced, Roy Jones Jr. dissected. He didn't float like a butterfly. He struck like a lightning storm. In 2000, Jones faced Richard the Destroyer Hall, a giant of a man with thunder in his fists and menace in his eyes. On paper, Hall looked dangerous. But Jones saw through the From the opening seconds, it became clear that this wouldn't be a contest. It would be a dismantling. Hall, tall and powerful, charged in with bad intentions. But Jones met him with a grin, then spun away effortlessly, countering with snapping rights and blistering combinations. His speed was otherworldly. He didn't just dodge punches, he vanished, then reappeared with a punishing jab to the ribs or a right hook to the jaw. Hall, stunned and flustered, tried to fight back, but it was like swinging at smoke. Jones baited him into throwing, then punished every mistake with surgical cruelty. When Hall dared to mock, lifting his arms, inviting danger, Jones answered with a vicious right hand that sent him crashing to the canvas. The punishment didn't stop. Hall, to his credit, kept getting up. But Jones wasn't satisfied with a knockout. He wanted to inflict embarrassment. In front of thousands, he beat Hall mercilessly, taunting, dancing, dominating. It wasn't just a beating, it was a masterclass in destruction. When the referee finally stepped in, it wasn't just to save Hall from injury. It was to end the cruelty. Jones had toyed with the destroyer, then tossed him aside like discarded armor. For Roy, it wasn't just about victory. It was about reminding the world that no man could dance and devastate quite like him. Yet, even Roy Jones bowed before the legacy of one name, one legend, one man who made the world stop and watch every time he laced up his gloves, Muhammad Ali. The greatest. In 1966, a young, hungry Ali stepped into the ring to face Cleveland Williams. At stake was more than just pride, it was destiny. From the opening bell, Ali was untouchable. He floated like his famous butterfly, light on his feet, dancing across the canvas with a grace that seemed unnatural. And when he stung with the violence of a hornet's nest. His fists were blurs, his movement a hypnotic trance. Williams tried to plant his feet, to land something solid, but he could never find his target. Ali was everywhere and nowhere all at once. Each punch he threw cracked like thunder. Each shuffle he made sent the crowd roaring. By the third round, the legend was sealed. Ali fired off a torrent of blows that left Williams broken and helpless. It wasn't just a win, it was the moment when a promising fighter ascended into mythology. Ali hadn't just defeated a man, he'd declared to the world that his name belonged in the stars. And finally, in the modern age, when MMA crosses into the squared circle, one name has brought the dance back to boxing. Michael Venom Paige. Known for his extravagant flair in the cage, Paige carried that same wild energy into the ring. Critics scoffed. Could he survive in pure boxing? But in just his second pro fight, Paige answered all doubts. Standing across from him was Poland's Miroslav I.A. Young, hungry and ready to test the hype. But Paige was never there to play fair. His style was pure chaos, a blur of shifting stances, low hands, and sneaky jabs. He danced, feinted, and threw punches from angles so bizarre they seemed to come from another dimension. IA tried to hold his ground, but early on, Paige split him open with a precise lead, right? Then came the show, the mocking movement, the taunting, the lopsided exchanges. And just when the pole looked like he might survive, Paige delivered a crushing right hand that folded IA like a marionette with its strings cut. The crowd roared, the referee waved it off, and the drunken master of modern combat had danced his way to another soul-stealing knockout. These fighters, from Ali to Augustus, from Hamed to Whitaker, prove that boxing isn't just about strength or endurance. It's about presence, swagger, rhythm. These are the performers who understand that when the bell rings, the world doesn't just want to see someone win, they want to see someone shine. And when fists fly, they don't just break bones, they tell stories. So who's your favorite boxing showman of all time? Do you think flash and flair belong in the ring, or should it be all business? No dance? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we want to hear your take. And make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that notification bell so you don't miss the next round of Legends and Knockouts.